What's going on, guys? Chaos here. I know this isn't really the sort of video that I usually make. I don't really cover gaming news that much unless it's something I really care about. But in this instance, this is something I really care about. So I did hear rumors that we were going to get more updates on the Tsukihime remake in a few days, and I wasn't sure how accurate that was, but someone by the name of Karoshi Myriad on Twitter just posted today a bunch of updates on the Tsukihime remake. For those of you who don't know, Cars or Karoshi Myriad is someone who posts a lot of updates or a lot of news in regards to things that is going on with Fate Grand Order or anything having to do with the Nasuverse. And he or she posted a bunch of updates today about the Tsukihime remake, along with an announcement of a new Melty Blood game. It is interesting that we're getting a new Melty Blood game, but to be honest, I've never really been a huge fan of fighting games. I do like the original Melty Blood. It is fun to play with friends, so it's pretty cool that we're getting a new one. It makes sense that we're getting a new one that basically is going to have the same art style and character designs as what we've seen from the Tsukihime remake. So that's a pretty interesting addition to the Tsukihime remake. But the biggest news that we've got is, of course, we have a bunch of new screenshots showing off the different characters and new screenshots from the game itself. And I originally wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this or not because I didn't know if it was really worth making a video about, but we basically have some good and bad news, I guess, depending on how you look at it. So pretty much two things came out of the updates that we got for the Tsukihime remake today. The first and foremost, this game is only going to be covering the near side routes of Tsukihime. Now, originally, as we know, the near side routes in the original game was just CL and Arcway. However, I believe the near side routes could also have to do with Satsuki as well, considering they are going to be covering the having a Satsuki Yumizuka route in the remake. So I believe that in the remake, the near side will probably be covering 3 routes instead of just CL and Arcway. It might also be covering Satsuki's route. And the total playtime of the near side routes in this remake would be 45 hours. Now that's pretty good, and you know we also of course got news that they are going to be adding a lot of new story content with the near side routes, which I think is definitely a good idea, and it totally makes sense. I mean, I pretty much expected them to be adding a lot of new stuff. I think we should probably expect the remake to be almost a completely different game from the original, because that's just kind of the vibe I'm getting based on what I've seen from the opening and what we're getting in terms of news. There could be some things that stay the same, but I believe there's going to be a lot of new things being added. So it's almost like it's a complete, more so like a reimagining of the story, if anything. But yeah, the first big thing is that this game is only going to be covering the near side routes, and that's something that I think somebody actually brought up in the comments of the opening analysis video I did when this was when we first got more news about this, that they believe that this game would only be covering the near side routes, and it's pretty much today just been confirmed. So I don't know if that means there's going to be another game that will be covering the far side routes, or if this is going to be DLC. I really hope that it's not DLC and that it's just a completely another game. Where I stand on this, honestly, I don't think this is necessarily, I would say it's not a good thing, because I believe everything should be just in one game and not like separated like this. I think they're really doing this more so as a cash grab, if anything. I don't know if this is done for any sort of good intentions, for lack of a better term. I feel like this is, like I said, mostly just probably a cash grab. Now, I don't mind so much because this is, like I said, it's something I'm very excited for, but it's not really something, the way they're handling this, I don't necessarily approve of. I really feel like everything should just be in one game. But this could also, the other reason I could probably see for this is maybe that the game just needs more time in development, and they want to release what they have after they finish the near side routes, and then this would just give them more time to develop whatever's in the far side routes. Maybe that could be the other reason for it, other than, you know, just being a cash grab or anything. So we could also take that into consideration as well. But aside from that, the screenshots that we got, everything looks really good. I'm really a huge fan of what they're doing with the character designs. Everything just looks really, just very similar to what we've seen from games like Mahou Sokai no Yoru, Witch on the Holy Night. So that's pretty much what you can expect going into this game. I mean, it is being worked on by the same guy who did the character designs for like all the Nasu games, as far as I know. So you know, the same person also that did the character designs for Witch on the Holy Night, which I believe his name was Takeuchi. I believe he's involved in this as well. So that's pretty much what you can expect from this game. The other thing that I think is worth mentioning is apparently this game is going to be only on the consoles, according to Karoshi Mirian. And I feel like this is a terrible idea. I don't know whose decision it was to do this. Apparently the justification for this is that the game should be experienced on a big screen with, you know, big speakers and all that, and that's all well and good, but I just don't see the reason why this game is not on the consoles and also on PC. I just assumed when this game came out and we didn't see any sort of mention of a PC release and just the consoles being mentioned, I just assumed that it most likely is going to PC, because pretty much all of Nasu's other works, all of his other visual novels are on the PC. So why wouldn't this game also be ported to the PC? Well, apparently it's, as far as we know now, this is just going to be a console exclusive game, only exclusive to the consoles that are listed, which I think was the Switch. I'm guessing might have been the Xbox, I'm not exactly sure, and the PS4. So it's not going to PC, as far as we know. Now that could change. Maybe it will eventually be announced to go to PC, but as for right now, they're not planning to put this on PC, and I feel like that's like I said, a really bad idea. I don't really understand why they would do this. You look at other visual novels like Steins Gate or something, that game started out on PC, but it eventually got ported to the consoles too. I don't know why they couldn't just have this game released on the PC alongside the consoles. That to me would make the most sense, but because, I mean, the justification for it just does not make a lot of sense to me. You could easily, you know, hook your PC up to your TV and get the same experience. Or, you know, why is that option just not there, is what I'm wondering. But that's really the biggest takeaways from what we got in terms of news for the Tsukihime Remake. There's not really anything else. There was some background information that Kaos was talking about the production of the game, but I don't really think it's worth bringing up here. I mostly just wanted to mention the biggest takeaways from the updates, and one of them, at least, you can see as may or may not be a good thing. The other major update, in my opinion, is just not a good thing. I don't know why PC is being left out of this when, like I said, a lot of like Nasu's visual novels were on the PC. So this just being a console only thing is very strange. I still will be playing it though, because I do have these consoles, so I can definitely play it. Like I said, I just think it's a mistake to handle it this way. But that's all I wanted to say, guys. I hope you enjoyed this update video. Let me know what you think about these in the comments. Yeah, until next time, I will see you all later.